Good afternoon, my friends, and thank you for coming back to visit me for another shave. Today's there's a little bit of pre-shave on here. We're using another drugstore classic, Von der Hagen. You can see it kind of in the shadows there. I don't know how I came to be in possession of this. I don't remember ever buying it, but here it is in all its pinkness. We're going to use, I usually call this the El Cheapo del Grande Badger brush of lathering, but I found out that this is indeed a Von der Hagen brush, so I felt it fitting that I use a drugstore brush with the drugstore soap. And in keeping with that, we're going to do, this is actually shave 34. I misspoke myself in the last shave that I used this Persona 74 blade with. That was 33, and this is going to be 34 with this. And then we'll finish up with She Leaves in Disgust. Finish up with Barbasol after Pacific Rush. I found the Von der Hagen soap actually pretty good lathering. It seemed to do an okay job. It's pretty good, but we'll see how it does once we apply it to the face here. And I got a nice big glob. I look like I've been to see the seagulls. So today, I was over at the university across the street, and they remodeled one of the buildings. It used to be a instructional building. They took half of it and turned it into a gymnasium. That's where the basketball. They have a basketball team there, and it's affiliated with the Ohio State University. So it's the Newark campus of the Ohio State University. I'm getting lather all over myself. The lather on this is a little on the thin side, so it splashes like crazy. Oh, she's come back. Yeah. 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 She's chewing me out about something. The weather's starting to get cool today, and she doesn't care to sit in a cold breeze. When we went over to the university today, I accidentally left her in the back porch, closed the door on her, so she was out there all by herself for a little while. So she's been scolding me about that all afternoon. Anyway, back to our story. They installed a beautiful gym for the students. They built some dormitories. Newark is the largest regional campus of the Ohio State University, and it's the first one to have dormitories. Usually regional campuses are for commuting students or like a community college thing. But this one, they actually have dormitories now. They were planning on it when I was still there, but that was 15 years ago. So they opened up their gym facilities to retired staff and alumni. Well, I qualify for both. So I got a new ID. It just looks like a student ID, and it says alumni on there. kind of cool that they're it fits in real well with my plans in that the YMCA is a little further to drive away to, and difficult to get a parking space. And even though my membership is free, it's kind of a bother to go there. And when I got someplace directly across the street, maybe 300 yards from here, I'd have to have a really good excuse to not make use of the facility if I'm a member of it. I'm hoping to exercise a little bit. First, to continue healing of my shoulder, and second, maybe to get on a fitness kick a little bit, so that over the winter months I don't continue to expand and end up like Violet Beauregard in the Willy Wonka story. Somebody tootled their horn. Pass 2. On pass 1, I've got a little extra whisker going here today, and it's tugging pretty good. I think I'm gonna call it on this blade. I've kind of put off doing it for a while, but if I get any nicks, so far it was just pulling when I was coming up against the grain on my neck there a little bit. So it was tugging a little bit. But it's skating on the thin ice of life here. The way I see it, we live in an age where we have amazingly good quality blades. There's some crummy ones too, as Chad is finding out. We have amazing quality blades, and there's no reason. What are you doing over there? Oh, she's playing in the shower curtains. She's so excited her tail is all bottle brushed out. She's having a good time. There's no reason to put up with a subpar blade. Well, that's not so bad. So, sure, it's fun to occasionally see how many sheaves you can squeeze out of a blade. There's no reason to actually do it for frugality's sake, because crying out loud, they're a dime a piece. So you're back, huh? Yeah? Uh-huh. Say hi to the guys. Yeah. Yeah. Now she clammed up, knows that somebody's listening. The Vanderhagen's fragrance, I don't know what it is. Maybe a little bit of rose water in there. I know, it's a kind of a semi-floral, and there's the foam, the lather is kind of dissipating. It's pulling a Williams on me. Which way did I go last? I'll go from south to north. been using it a lot, doing a lot of time over there on campus anyway, walking. And it's been affecting the way some of my medications are working. My blood sugar has dropped quite a bit into the 90s. Which is unusual for me. And that could be, I had been using some expired strips, and so you guys I might have seen that joke I put on Facebook. But using new strips, my blood sugar's rarely above 130, and it bottoms out in the 80s first thing in the morning. Yeah, I've stopped taking my metformin 3 days ago, and it doesn't seem to have made any difference. I'm testing my blood a lot, and it doesn't seem to have affected not taking the medicine doesn't seem to have affected my total blood sugars. So I'm thinking the exercise, coupled with being kind of a little bit careful about my carbs, trying to do the keto thing, get back into ketosis, has kind of made some of those drugs not really necessary. But I'm going to check with my physician before I completely stop. This is going to be a few days of experimentation without it, and we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, don't. The rest of you guys who don't know me very well, don't do too much experimentation with your medicine without consulting your physician, because they take a dim view of that. You can really get in some trouble. See how we did the so that was what the pharmacist, I was chatting with her when she was giving me my flu shot. I was telling her what I was planning on doing and what was happening with medications and my walking and how all that was working together. And she says, try going off for a day or two, but don't go much longer than that, and without consulting your physician. And I think she's pretty wise in saying that. That, and it keeps her insurance good. There's no stings, so even though it's kind of tuggy, the 74 made it to 34 shaves before it started to act all hinky and started getting tuggy. We may get to 35 just to have an even number, but I think we're about where it's really useful limits are. So 35 is that's pretty respectable for a injector blade. I was super impressed with how sharp they are at the beginning, and I got to find as I get closer to the arrival date of my Vector, I'm trying to find some way to make it fair for the face-off between the injector and the Vector. I don't know how sharpness-wise our Chinese chick blades compare. And I've never tried the supply blades, or was that Supply Company? I don't know. Are those just Persona blades? You guys out there who use them, let me know on that. I'd be interested in finding out if they're just Persona blades, then they're not any different than chick blades. So I'll try to find a feather equivalent that will go in the injector to, apples to apples for the platforms. I've never used this Pacific Rush. I don't think. I think this was a PIF, or it came out of the box. I'm not sure. Nice. And as a drugstore soap, it's unobtainium, but Barbasol is a long-standing brand. That's all we have for today. Thank you for coming to visit. For as a recap, we used Van der Hagen soap with a matching Van der Hagen brush. I call it it's a badger or a boar brush. One thing I will tell you about these brushes, boar brushes, and this one in particular, I try to soak it a little bit longer than I do my badger brushes, and it seems to cut the shedding way back. This brush is going on 3 years now. It stopped shedding a long time ago, and it's nice and soft, and it's a good lather, even though it is El Cheapo Grande. Our shaving device today was a Schick Type M with a Persona 74, vintage 74 blade on its 34th use. We may make to 35, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being extra sensitive today. It's weather's changing, and maybe I'm moody or something. But we'll get back to you on that. In the meantime, I'm Major Rich on the Shaving Cadre. You'll see me on there quite a bit, and if you're just seeing me on YouTube for the first time, please come and visit me over there. You'll see me mostly. I use mostly vlog, but I do post a blog or a journal entries. I journalize my shaves too. If you're just seeing me on YouTube only, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, hey, buddy! It's your great-granddad here. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of busy fighting for your freedom in this little thing called the Second World War. But now, you're using that freedom to hurl insults at celebrities on Twitter? Listen, hashtag, you're not gonna fight like a man. You at least shave like a man. Excuse me. Barbasol. Stop LOLing everything.